Hello, my kind listeners, and welcome back to the WILA, What I'm Looking At universe. I'm here transmitting to you from the center, Steady Wave Center for Contemplation in Abbotsbury, Dorset. I'm cold as usual, but colder than usual because I just got back from the beach. It was extremely beautiful, but also frigid, and although I didn't swim, ironically I think I would be warmer if I had swum, but I did not swim, mainly because there were so many fisher people, that's what's coming into my mind, on the beach catching fish, and the lines were all over the place, and it just made me nervous because it was a little windy as well. But I sat there, I took in the sounds of the little pebbles being sucked in and out by the water, and it was very pleasing. So I've just come back from there. I've had kind of an adventure-packed day. Not really, but I did go to the Christmas market and I got some chips, some French fries from a guy who was selling them from a truck, and he had some fancy ketchup. It was like Korean ketchup and it was good, but too many fries. I had to abandon half of them, and I wish I had the other half now because I'm hungry once again. Walked around the Christmas market, and then someone came into the center, had tea for quite a while, and then to the beach, and now I'm sitting here with you in the What I'm Looking At universe, floating around. We're going to talk about what I'm looking at in a minute here, or several minutes. I recently listened to a podcast. It just reminded me because I said universe. It was called Twin Flames, and it was all about this I don't know what to call it, group called the Twin Flames universe, and it's all about finding your twin flame and the people that were in this group. And twin flames, I suppose, are like cosmically bound people that enter into romantic, loving relationships, apparently, but it was about a lot more than that. They sort of insinuated that it was a cult, with cult activity happening, and I've got to say, it did sound like it, not to offend anyone who's currently in this Twin Flames universe, but it was very interesting, that podcast. I like podcasts like that, and hopefully you like podcasts like this, in which someone just speaks into the microphone and keeps you company and tells you what they're looking at and bores you to sleep or bores you into some kind of relaxed trance-like state. And that's what this podcast is all about, just lulling you into a very relaxed state. And the beauty is that you don't have to think about anything at all, not even what I'm saying. So in essence, you're going to be plunged into a meditation of sorts, and that is really where you can access all sorts of things in your meditative state. Things will come bubbling up, and maybe you'll see them and you'll say hi, and then you say bye, and something else will bubble up, and until nothing is bubbling at all, met my friends. A very, very, very peaceful place to be in. The no man's land of the mind. The deep, 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 deep ocean where you can't even feel the currents. They're all up on top, but you're in the deep, deep part where sometimes nothing is around, nothing detectable. Sometimes you'll come across a fish with a light bulb at the end of a string or something, and you'll think, how on earth is this an actual thing that exists? It's mad. It's madness down here. But you know what? Anything is possible. Anything. So take that for what it's worth, and welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here, whether you're an old friend or a new friend, or you're not quite sure if we're even friends. I consider us friends. I know that friendship is like a two-way street, but I think for me, sometimes it is a one-way street, and you can't really argue with me about that point, can you? I do have my doors open, so sometimes there's a car that's going by and it's got a motor in it, so it's loud. But try to welcome that into the experience. Oftentimes sounds happen and we might not know where they're from or why they're happening, but you just have to kind of accept that they're there. People are just going about their daily lives on their own time, and they don't care that someone's recording a podcast in a meditation death center in the middle of a village in England. They don't see that as a priority in their life, and that's fine. I hope that you are feeling welcome in here. Let's just keep using the word universe, in this reality that we're in together right now. It should feel warm and welcoming, like a bath, like a bath, warm inviting bath that's been sprinkled with flowers and lovely body oil. Don't know if you like that, but I like that. So whatever the equivalent is for you, if it's, in bed with a weighted blanket or sitting in one of those massage chairs that squeeze your calves all around, feel welcome, feel warm, feel cozy. Tonight, I'm going to go to a Christmas party. I think I told you a couple weeks back, but I signed up to be a member at a sailing club in hopes that I can weasel my way onto someone's boat and sail into the sunset with them, but then come back. But I really love boats and I don't have a boat, so this is the closest thing I can do to ensure that I'm invited onto a boat. So anyway, the club is having a Christmas party, and it will be the first time I will be attending a formal event at the boat club, the sailing club, and I'm not nervous, but I'm just thinking what it's going to be like. I just don't know, and I don't know what the food's going to be like. I don't know if they're going to have a drink that I like. I don't know anyone there, so I've got to psych myself up a little bit to just put myself out there and talk to people and get a feel for who's going to invite me on their boat in the springtime. I think I can do it. I believe in myself, and I think I can make it happen, and I'm looking forward to it. But they have games, and they're gonna have a raffle, I think, and I don't know what else. Boat talk. I wonder who I'm gonna sit next to. Yeah, it's kind of exciting. All right, I think I'm winding down this rambling portion, and we'll get into what I'm looking at next. There are a couple of things I wanted to report. Big news. I found the ruler. Or maybe it found me, I'm not sure. But the other day, some firemen were around because my neighbor next door, Sue, she accidentally lit her curtains on fire with a magnifying glass that was next to the window. Which I think is just the funniest. It's not funny that there was a hole burning into her curtains, but I just think it's like the cutest fire origin story, because she's got this magnifying glass by the window to do her sewing projects and things, and anyway, they didn't know where the smell was coming from initially, so they called the fire brigade, and they came in here because they were thinking, oh, maybe this strange lady with a death center was doing her candle rituals or something, and she started the fire. Well, I didn't start any fires. I didn't even have any candles lit at the time, so it was a good impression I made on the fire brigade. But anyway, I was showing them the heater, the space heater, the radiator, and I was saying, yes, they're on. I turned them on, but I don't have anything on top of them. And right when I said that, there's this kind of wood strip that's between the heater and the wall, and the ruler was just sitting right on that wood strip, blending in a little bit. And I thought to myself, by George, there it is. There's the ruler you've been looking for about 3 months now. So the ruler's been found, everybody. I can now measure things and accurately report the inchage and the centimeterage of objects that I tell you about. Congratulations on making it with me here. The other thing I wanted to say is thank you so much. I've gotten another subscriber to the Spotify subscriber list. I now have 4 subscribers, and I just feel like so joyous about that. Thank you very, very much to anyone who subscribes to me on that platform. Basically, if you don't know, you can pay $3.99 a month, and that gives you access to all of these past episodes I've done, like 170 something, and it's a way to support me in doing this endeavor. The other day I was thinking about everything that I do, and in my mind I was trying to add up how many things I do and how much money those things bring me, and about 90% of what I do earns me no money at all, which is kind of cool and kind of worrying, I suppose. It's cool because I know that these things that I do are from the truest possible place in my heart, because I don't do them for money. And that is there's a validation in that. You know, I know, because sometimes it can get confusing, can't it? Like, it's hard to know why you do certain things, especially if you present them to other people. And so it's nice to know that even though I don't get anything much in terms of money, I still do them. On the other side of the coin, no pun intended, it is worrying because, you know, it's tough out here. I need money controversial outlook, but I feel as if I need money to live the life I want to live, and it's difficult. So my point is, thank you so much for supporting me in the ways that you do. And I'm not saying that I don't appreciate your support if it's not financial help. I'm just saying I really appreciate you giving me money. So thank you. You don't need to do that, and you are doing that, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. And I will extend the thanks to everyone for being here and listening, but just want to give a special little shout out to those people who have subscribed. Today we are looking at together a book of stamps. I can't really remember why I bought this book of stamps, but apparently I've already used a number of them, so it was for a reason. And I will tell you about them now. As I said, it's a book of stamps, so there's several stamps in this book. It's a horizontal book. It's not a portrait layout book. It's made of pretty thin paper, cheap, if I may be so bold, cheap paper, economical paper. And the book is about 4 inches by 2.5 inches, so 4 inches long and 2.5 inches high. And the front of the book, it's folded in a way that it doesn't close flush. So the front of the book is shorter actually than the back. I hope you can visualize that. And that's apparently on purpose. I'm not sure what the purpose is, maybe for ease of opening. So the front of this book of stamps is a really nice color green. It's a classic green, grass green, or maybe Kelly green. I don't know who Kelly is and why there's a green named after Kelly, but that kind of green, or it looks like the kind of green that would be on a flag, like the Italy flag. So the majority of the cover is that green. In big size, in big font, in big letters, it says 8 by 2, but the 2 is into a second because it's telling me that there's 8 second class stamps. So here in the UK, if you mail a letter or a parcel or anything, they ask you if you want to mail it first class or second class, and first class will get there sooner. Second class is not a priority, so it goes super snail mail. So the 8 times 2, 8 times second, that's in white, and it's a sans serif font, rounded at the ends, very plain, very simple. The 8 is not in bold, but the 2 is in bold, and the ND of the second is not in bold either. So just the 2 is emboldened. And I would say it's about almost an inch high, this 8 by 2, this 8 times 2. And the ND is very small next to the 2. So that's what we're working with. Again, white sans serif rounded edges. On the bottom right hand side corner of this front book of stamps, there is a Royal Mail emblem, and let me tell you about it. So there's 2 rectangles make up this emblem. One rectangle is going across on top of another rectangle. One rectangle, which is going across, is red with a white border. and it says Royal Mail. And the red of the Royal Mail rectangle is, again, like a classic red color, fire engine red, candy apple red. And the font is interesting. It's certainly, I think, a custom font. It's yellow, a true mustard yellow, and it's a sans serif font. It looks very old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, but maybe like 60s or 70s. And how do I say this? There's a line going through the middle of each of the letters, but going around the contour of the letters. So it looks kind of like there's two yellow lines making each letter, because the line going through the middle of the letters is red, so it's just the background color. I hope that makes sense to you. It's a little bit hard to explain, but imagine just an ordinary filled in yellow letter, and through the middle of the yellow on the R, for example, you've just taken the background color red and just made the R shape, but in the middle of so the yellow is sandwiching the red, okay? And like the O, it's just in the center of the yellow. So it looks like two lines making up the letters in yellow. I like the font. I think it's minimal, simple. It's got kind of a curvy character to it. Some, like in the A, in the lowercase a, it's a little bit pointy on the upper right. I've never seen a font quite like it, and I'm not sure if this is across all Royal Mail branding, but it is on this book of stamps. So that is within the red rectangle with a white border, and Royal is capitalized, just the first letter, and Mail, the first letter of that, the M is capitalized. Then in the background we have a white rectangle going up and down. What is the word? Vertically, and it's a lot more wide than the Royal Mail rectangle. So if the Royal Mail rectangle is I went on about my ruler and now I don't have it when I'm sitting down. It's over there. I'm not going to get it. The Royal Mail one is probably 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters high. Gosh, now I'm curious. Hold on. You're not going to believe this, but I did move the ruler somewhere because it's not in that spot anymore. But now I can't find where it is. Alright, I found it. Okay, the moment of truth. How many centimeters is this? A Royal Mail. Oh, I was so off, everyone. I was so off in thinking I knew how many centimeters it was. It's actually not even fully 1 centimeter. So if the Royal Mail rectangle is about 1 centimeter high by 3.5 centimeters long, this rectangle is 2 centimeters high by 1 centimeter, a true centimeter wide. So it's a little bit fatter. Anyway, it's white. Thank you, ruler. I need to audibly thank the ruler now. Make it a point to do that, because that way then it will feel appreciated and not run away again. There's a crown. There's a crown in this white rectangle, and it's a classic crown with jewels. It's not a photograph, it's a rendering. It's got gold trimmings and jewels, and it looks like a fluffy kind of place where your head might go if you're lucky enough to have a crown. And a red, you can't tell from the drawing, but I'm envisioning it being velvet. A red velvet top of the hat, if you will. The soft part, and then there's some curvatures in gold with the jewels around. And that's the Royal Mail logo, I suppose. Now, do you remember when I said that the cover doesn't quite match up with the back cover? The back cover, you can see there's a strip of white if you're just looking at the book of stamps. So if you open the book, then you'll see that the inside is white, but there's a text which goes in a sort of swooshing motion, a curvature like a wave almost in the background of this, where the stamps are sitting glued onto, not glued, but stuck onto. And it says Royal Mail over and over and over in light gray ink. Royal Mail, Royal Mail, Royal Mail, Royal Mail. Upright, and then upside down, and then smaller. So there's one which is right side up. It says Royal Mail, Royal Mail, Royal Mail. The next one is about half the size, and it's upside down. It says Royal Mail, Royal Mail, Royal Mail, going the other way and upside down. The next line is as big as the bigger one before, and it's also upside down and the other way. And then the next line is small again, right side up, going the opposite way of the one above it. And then now we're back to the big Royal Mails going the other way, the same way as the line above it, but big. I guess maybe this is a sort of thing where it's like difficult to do if you're a counterfeit artist. Not sure why they did that. The paper inside is of a waxy nature. Waxy or just plasticky, I can't be sure. But I'm thinking it's because that is the ideal environment for these adhesives to be working correctly, which are on the back of these stamps and sticking them onto the paper. There are 4 stamps in here, and they're all the color green of the Book of Stamps cover. That nice grass, our friend Kelly green. And they depict an image of the late Queen Elizabeth looking about 20-ish, in her 20s years old. So a young Queen Elizabeth, and I bought this book of stamps before she died. So now I think they're changing all the stamps to be the king. So these are some old stamps, but they do have a very modern edition on the side, which is a barcode. It's like a QR code, and they're replacing all the stamps here with this QR code barcode situation, and I think that's because people have been taking stamps off of letters and then reusing them because no one knew the difference, that they didn't have a barcode. But now, in the modern age, we have QR codes, and now they're scanned through and you can't reuse them. I'm assuming they get flagged or something if they're used twice. So this is just some kind of scheme so that the people who can't afford to buy stamps can no longer scam the Royal Mail and reuse stamps. I wonder how much money realistically that was losing them per year, if any. This image of the Queen looks like it's on a coin. It's funny. It looks like it's sort of 3D rendered, and it looks like it should belong on a coin or some kind of relief, like a carving. And it's actually in a pale green color. I think it's supposed to look like it's white but carved with, the recesses of the carving are a green color. It says second next to the Queen's bust of the Queen, and that is in a serifed font, and she's wearing a crown, not the crown of the Royal Mail logo. It's a different crown. It looks more like there's not like a hat portion to it. It's just but it is a ring around, a spiky ring crown. And let me just measure how big this stamp is. It measures 2.5 centimeters without the barcode and just over 3.5 centimeters with the barcode. The barcode is a separate perforated portion of the stamp, which is interesting, on the side, and the barcode alone measures about 1.5 centimeters. And the stamp is 3 centimeters high, 3.5 centimeters with the barcode wide or long. Got 4 of those. I heard a rumor that said that you can no longer use stamps with the Queen's image, and now you have to use the King's ones, but I don't buy that. I don't think they could do that, right? But then again, maybe. I did say anything's possible, and I stand behind that. I'm on the back of the stamp book now. Come with me to the back of the stamp book. This book of stamps back is green, just like the front, except for there's a rectangle where the barcode lives and an emblem which says FSC Mix Paper. This is all in blue ink, like a royal blue, and here's the barcode number: 50147211547787. The barcode is about 1 inch by 1/2 inch, and the mixed paper is in a rounded rectangle box, and it's got the FSC logo on it, the check mark. It says mixed paper FSC C023216. Now we're outside of the rectangle, and it says valid for items up to. And this should be said that it's in the white font that is the 8 times second class font, because it's sans serifed and it's got that nice rounded off look. It says valid for items up to 240 millimeters long, 165 millimeters wide, 5 millimeters thick, 100 grams weight. And then we've got some old school symbols in white. One is a telephone. Looks like an old telephone that you would pick up. It would go ring ring and you would pick it up. Telephone number is 034-577-40740. There's an image of a laptop. It says www.royalmail.com. And I'm not sure, but I think this might be a fax number. It's a phone and a keyboard. I don't know. I'm just guessing that it's fax. Anyway, the number's 03456-000-606 if you want to fax the Royal Mail something. And there we have it. A book of stamps, Royal Mail style, second class style. I hope you enjoyed looking at it in your mind's eye. It is rapidly getting much colder in this building as the sun's gone down. And I believe my heaters are now off. My toes are cold. My nose is cold. My nose is running. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be pretty early for this Christmas party. But maybe they'll give me a hot cup of joe. And hopefully some potatoes. Thank you so much again for being here on my podcast, What I'm Looking At. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for listening to my little corner of the world. If you want to check me out on YouTube, my YouTube account is called Steady Waves, and I make videos on there. If you want to listen to my music, it's Cross Record, Loma, the band, and subscribe to my YouTube, please, if you go on there, because I really want to get to 100 in the next couple weeks. I'm on 91 at the moment. Like and subscribe, as they say. And my Instagram as well is just Steady Wave Center or Cross Record. So there's a multitude of ways to find me on the waves of the internet. And hey, I'll see you soon. Until next time, bye.